Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Everybody knows who Black Widow is, unless you're not an Iron Man fan, which, if that's the case, learn who Black Widow is, because she's just awesome. And Scarlett Johansson pulled her off. Again, just like everyone else that I've talked about in this film, knew exactly who her character was, obviously did research on the character, knew what she needed to bring to the role, and has a necessary element to this character. She is absolutely stunning and beautiful and looked as good as I've ever seen her look on screen. Not to say that Scarlett Johansson's ever looked bad, but she is absolutely just out of this world, amazingly beautiful in this film, and was just absolutely the perfect Black Widow all the way around. Now here's where things get a bit more interesting, as we have Don Cheadle as Lieutenant Commander James Rhodes / Rhodey. Now, I mentioned this for a brief amount of time in the Iron Man review, and that is that I don't necessarily agree with Don Cheadle being inserted in this film. I thought Terrence Howard did an absolutely fantastic job as Rhodey in the first film, and why they casted Don Cheadle, I really couldn't tell you. But Chris, who you guys know again from the Sherlock Holmes review, when he watched the first Iron Man, he said that he felt that Terrence Howard didn't give off enough of a soldier vibe to him. So maybe that's something that the director Jon Favreau and the producers of this film felt as well, that they needed a more strong presence that they felt that Don Cheadle gave him. I couldn't really tell you. How did Don Cheadle do? Don Cheadle did great. Don Cheadle did just as good as Terrence Howard did. And Don Cheadle had a little bit more to do as James Rhodes in this film. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because I don't want to ruin anything. But yeah, he had a little bit more to do with the character and pulled it off. So maybe the change worked, maybe it didn't. But I would have been interested to see, for myself anyway, how Terrence Howard would have pulled off the role a second time. And finally, for your main cast of characters, you have Samuel L. Jackson returning as Nick Fury. Thank the Lord. There were rumors for a long time that he wasn't going to be in the second film due to contract disputes, but he returns for continuity and has a little bit more to do in this film. Not as much expansion as Pepper Potts and Rhodey were, but has a little bit more to do, and he and Robert Downey Jr. were absolutely brilliant together, and Sam Jackson is Sam Jackson, and he's the perfect Nick Fury. That's all that you need to know. The cinematography of the film is absolutely fantastic, brilliantly done for the motif and the world that they were trying to create in the Iron Man universe. Absolutely brilliant. Jon Favreau obviously knows how to get the most out of his actors, can't slam his direction at all. And really, across the board, there's nothing bad to say about this film other than what we've already touched on, and the fact that I wanted to see a little bit more whiplash than I saw, and that's the only reason that Iron Man 2 gets a 4 out of 5 stars rather than 5 stars across the board. I thought that Iron Man 2 was just about a perfect sequel, and the acting was, in most cases, stronger than it was in the first one. And you all saw in the last episode how much I enjoyed the first film. If you listened to the last audio blog that I did, you know that I teased the fact that there may or may not be an announcement at the end of this episode. However, due to time, because I can already tell that I'm going to be running the risk of possibly running long, this may already be a two-parter as it is. So as such, the next time you guys see me, there will either be an announcement or we will just continue on with hopefully another awesome episode. This is reality according to the Razman. And Razman style, it's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.